Alright, bro, let me unbrainwash you for a second. This looks maxing shit is genuinely getting out of hand. I thought that.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Let's see. All right, we are rocking and rolling. Good morning, Susie. We got the Sunshine State. Hello. Bruno, my man, how are you, sir? Hope everybody's doing great. Tonya from Massachusetts, all right. Currently, I'm actually in, I live in Colorado, but right now I'm in Colombia. I'm here at an Airbnb. I'll be here for some more time. I don't know how long this thing's going to take, but I'll be here for some time. We got O-Town from Orlando. Welcome. Orlando's cool. I haven't been in Orlando in a while. Good morning, Renata from South Africa. DYS, I've okay. I would say that's fine. Good morning, everybody. We got people just loving in. Hello from India. Good morning. DYS, I'm engaged to a woman, but yeah, I'm not sure where you're getting that information from. Hey, Ricks, good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's an evening for you. Hey, moderators, let's go ahead and take care of DYS, please, on YouTube. Lucifer, you got muscle just by the weight loss injections. No, I didn't just get it from the weight loss injections. I got it because I work out. And I train consistently. Resistance training is a consistent thing that I do. Hello, everybody. Welcome. If this is your first time here in the live, let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. Specifically, what I get to do is allow people, we work with patients specifically in the weight loss space, in the GLP-1 space, helping individuals navigate around the freaking landmine of GLP-1 meds. Like, how do you break the stall? Good morning, Yanni. How do you break the stall? How do you get faster results? What are the struggles? What are the secret peptide stacks? I want to cover the peptide stacks. and lay a foundation for you so that you guys have the proper framework to be successful long term. That's what I'm here to cover, guys. That's what I want to help you guys do. So let's get into it. Let's begin this discussion. Well, why don't you start by letting me know where you're watching from? Are you currently on GLP-1 meds? And is it going good, or are you struggling? Let me know in the comments. I think the most common pattern I see, the most common issue I see is people, when they start these medications, they're not told to eat enough food. So they're not getting enough calories, and they're not getting enough protein. That's probably the most common issue, the most common pattern that I see. Have you used GLP-1? Yes, correct. I use a microdose because I lost 100 pounds myself. So I lost 100 pounds. As you can tell, I've struggled for a very long time yo-yoing in my personal weight journey, figuring out how to actually maintain weight loss, which I can tell you guys was something that had to do with metabolic health. Figuring out metabolic health, figuring out insulin resistance, and what I had to do was some therapeutic fasting. That's what really helped me achieve stability in my weight. That's what I teach, and that's what I do every single day working with patients. Hey Jason, what's up, buddy? All right. Looks like we're just getting settled in this morning. Stack to the moon. Yanni, tirzepatide started 10 weeks ago, down 14 pounds. It's going good. Realized protein intake helps a lot. Protein intake makes a massive difference. Protein helps you to reduce the muscle loss, to increase the fat loss. I mean, the list goes on as far as why protein is so beneficial. And why it's so essential. Carlene, Delaware, and on Mounjaro, I've lost almost 50 pounds. That's freaking awesome. But plateauing and would like to lose another 20 to hit my ideal weight. How many of you guys are on your path towards your weight loss goal, or are you guys already plateauing? I see some of you guys are kind of currently running into that. The number one cause of the weight loss plateau on your medications is undereating. And I see this pattern consistently day in and day out. You started your GLP-1 medication and nobody told you that you got to eat enough food. Nobody told you how to approach the eating, because the medications suppress your appetite so much that even if you were told, even if you were told to be careful and make sure that you eat enough food, it is so easy to slip into this under-eating pattern. This is the classic pattern that I see. And so eventually, after enough time of under-eating, your metabolism responds. This is what happens with GLP-1s. Your metabolism responds. You go into starvation mode. So you're burning less calories. You start losing muscle. The weight loss slows down, and then the weight loss stops. And then you also can confirm this is happening to you because of the other symptoms. There are other symptoms that take place. So let me know, guys, if this is starting to kind of ring true to you. Tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold, achy body. This is the typical pattern. This is the typical pattern of metabolic downregulation. And there's a specific solution called the metabolic, the reverse diet, or the metabolic reset. This is a very strategic solution to this problem. Of course, that's one piece of it, right? So you have the weight loss plateau. You were losing weight. metabolism slows down. The other thing that you need to understand is, hey, Big Sexy, good morning. On Ozempic, 1 month, haven't lost anything. So you need to pay attention to what I'm saying because I'm literally about to talk about that issue next. So issue number 1, you were losing weight loss stalls. Issue number 2 is you never really started losing weight to begin with. Is that more what's happening to you guys? Are you in a weight loss stall, or are you just never really started losing weight to begin with? I'm a fan of taking creatine 5 grams a day specifically, but there is research coming out about possibly increasing that dose to 10, maybe 15 grams a day. It's really interesting. I would say if you had for example, I didn't get the best sleep last night, so I woke up this morning and I took 20 grams of creatine. I will take 20 grams of creatine any morning after a night of not so restful sleep. So the morning after suboptimal sleep, I'm taking 20 grams of creatine to help my brain function as optimally as possible the next day. So that's what I do, and that's what I recommend. But so issue number 1, your body's starving. Issue number 2 is the blocks, right? This is what we call slow responders. Slow responders and non-responders to the GLP-1 medication. This is driven by 4 main issues, okay? So 4 main issues: cortisol dysregulation, high levels of inflammation, insulin resistance, and thyroid issues. What do I think about the carnivore diet? I think the carnivore diet is a very powerful intervention for reducing inflammation, especially if your inflammation is being driven by autoimmune disease. How many of you guys are struggling with autoimmune disease right now? How many of you guys are getting slow weight loss on your GLP-1 medications? Do you think it's cortisol, inflammation, thyroid, or insulin resistance? Or is it all of the above? Is it all of the above? Queen says that is definitely what's going on. She's got thyroid and Hashimoto's. Taylor, I work out 6 days a week. I eat good. What's your thoughts on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day on eating? So our patients are set up for success because they do lots of therapeutic fasting. So lots of therapeutic fasting the day after makes sense because you're going to indulge. You're going to eat a lot of food on Thanksgiving. So take some digestive enzymes, take a lot of digestive enzymes, and enjoy. Go lift weights the morning of. Go to the gym, crush it in the gym. Maybe do a little bit of fasting the day before and then do a little bit of fasting the day after. Hey, David, good morning. If you have herniated discs, there's a couple things. BPC 157, TB 500 are the powerful peptides that we have for healing. They reduce inflammation and they promote healing. I would also go see a local chiropractor, a local physical therapist. I would start working on strengthening the core. Good morning if you're watching me on Facebook. Elizabeth, after taking Zepbound, hit goal weight, reversed my chronic kidney disease and heart failure on a maintenance dose. That's fantastic. Would you go with a microdose or once a week? My weight is stable. Elizabeth, that's a great question. My preference is a cycling dose because if you take a low dose every single week, it is kind of easy to just adapt to that. And it is kind of easy for that to become normal and for you to start kind of slipping towards an excessive eating pattern again. But if you cycle your GLP-1 and you give yourself breaks, then you know what normal hunger looks like. And you have a constant reminder to continue to put in effort. And then you have an opportunity on injection week to eat less calories, to do a long fast, to be strategic with your diet. What are healthy ways to lose weight and avoid gaining it back? Kenneth Bryan, fixing insulin resistance. If you fix insulin resistance, if you lower your inflammation levels, it will be significantly easier for you to maintain that weight loss long term. You need to reduce inflammation and you need to improve insulin resistance. That's the way that you do it. Guys, if you just joined us here this morning, welcome, welcome. Universe, walking after meals is fantastic. If you have time, if you have the ability to walk after meals, that is fantastic. So if you guys just joined us, my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. You're welcome, my friend Kenneth. My doctors prescribe the GLP-1 medications, the powerful fat mobilizing peptides. So we have the peptides, we have the autoimmune treatments, we do hormone therapy for men and women. And then me and my coaches, we coach lifestyle interventions. So two things I want to go over. If you're not already following me on YouTube, you should get your butt over to YouTube. Type in Dr. Jones DC. You will find my YouTube. We put out 4 videos a week. We put out 2 GLP-1 videos. We put out 2 peptide videos. Yesterday or Monday, we posted the 10-minute weight loss stall solution. That was a highly requested topic. A lot of you guys were asking me to do that. I put out a video a couple days before that about fasting. So if you really want dialed in solutions, completely free on my YouTube page, everything is there for you. So I would definitely go check that out. And then if you're watching me on TikTok and you prefer, I like to call bite-sized educational videos. These 2 new accounts right here, these are the 2 new TikTok accounts. So make sure you go on TikTok and find Metabolic and Progress over Perfect. Give those accounts a follow because we put 3 videos a day on those TikTok accounts where I teach you guys how to maximize your results. I teach you about dosing. I teach you about weight loss stalls and everything that you need to know to be successful long term. So that's the free. That's how you can access all my free information, guys. Both on TikTok, YouTube, and then Instagram as well. Type in Dr. Jones DC. You'll find me on Instagram. But if you guys are just ready to do this, if you guys are tired and fed up with not having real solutions, let me show you guys how you can reach out to us. This number right here, the 229 number, 229-441-3562. That's the way that you can reach out to my team. All you got to do is shoot us a text message. Hey, cruise, we don't take insurance, unfortunately. Insurance companies, unfortunately, do not cover coaching. They don't cover peptides. But yeah, 229-441-3562. Shoot them a text message. Let them know that you want to get set up for a free consultation. And then we're going to teach you. My experts are going to talk to you about your history, your struggles. They're going to learn a little bit more about what's going on with you, and they're going to recommend solutions. You're welcome, Jima, if I said that right. What do slow responders do? Okay, so what do you guys want me to talk about first? Do you want me to talk about slow responders, or do you want me to talk about the plateau? There's crossover between the conversation about plateaus, starvation mode, under eating patterns, and then slow responders. This is insulin, inflammation, thyroid, and cortisol. What would be more helpful to you guys next? Let me know in the comments. What would you rather me chat about next? If I have enough time, I will try to cover everything. But if I can't, this is what I'll cover. Can past dieting ruin your metabolism? Yes and no. On the short term, you can wreck your metabolism by slowing it down, but it's not permanent damage. There's no such thing as permanent, and people get this really confusing. They get confused about this, like permanent damage. No, you cannot permanently damage your metabolism. I mean, let me rephrase that. I suppose you can, but not from chronic dieting, not from chronic undereating. Chronic undereating is going to create short-term issues without a doubt. but you're not going to create long-term patterns of damage. This is where people get unfortunately scared by social media influencers that, if I'm being honest, they don't know what the F they're talking about, and they create a lot of panic and fear. Now, make no mistake, this is a big deal. Like, if you don't know how to overcome this, you're going to struggle. But I'm going to teach you guys how to overcome this right now. I'm going to break it down so it's super simple so that you guys understand. How do you reduce inflammation? So, in my opinion, the most powerful strategy for reducing inflammation would be your GLP-1 stacked with low-dose naltrexone, stacked with BPC 157, KPV, and then a carnivore diet, an anti-inflammatory diet. And my favorite type of anti-inflammatory diet is the carnivore diet. That's my favorite thing. So Kenneth, there's the answer to your question. I'm getting a good mix. It seems like you guys are wanting me to talk about both. I want to start, but I'm scared of side effects. How do I deal with hunger when I reach my goal? Well, if you were in my program, we teach you how to be proactive. We teach you how to not become dependent upon the medication. And basically, the quick answer is implementing strategic lifestyle interventions at the same time so that you can stay on the lower dose. So, Tonya, these peps are so expensive. Would love to get BPC TB500. Do the pills work just as good as the injection? Depends on which peptide we're talking about. Some peptides can work in the oral form, but if you want to heal for injuries, I would go with BPC injection. But if you want gut healing and inflammation, I would take the oral BPC. By the way, guys, we do have some specials coming up for Thanksgiving. I had to blank on that. Thanksgiving and Black Friday. We have our steepest discounts coming up around the corner. If you want Wolverine healing peptides, if you want anti-aging glow for your hair, skin, and nails, we have our steepest discounts that we're rolling out for Black Friday and Thanksgiving. So shoot us a text message here, 229-441-3562. Of course, if you just want coaching, if you want guidance, support, structure, if you're tired of freaking winging it, then we got you covered. That first consultation, Azel, is completely free. Okay, so it looks like we're going to talk about slow responders first, okay? So what do I mean by slow responders? How do you know you're a slow responder? If you're losing less than 0.5% of your body weight per week. Let me know in the comments, by that definition, are you a slow responder? Are you losing less than 0.5%? If you're losing less than 0.5%, you are a slow responder. So let me do some math for you. If you weigh about 200 pounds, that means you're losing on average less than 1 pound per week. And it's been a couple weeks. And if you're gaining sometimes, then you're a slow gainer, and that's not a good situation either. So we're gonna have to talk about that. Who else right now is in this situation where you're losing less than 1% per week? Less than 0.5% per week. Carmen is a slow responder, lost 29 pounds in 5.5 months. That's not too shabby, Carmen. How much weight in total do you need to lose, though? I don't know how much you currently weigh, so that's why percentages matter. Percentages matter big time because it's relative to how much you actually currently weigh. Carlene on YouTube is losing about less than 1 pound a week. What about the rest of you guys? Are you guys losing above 0.5%? Everything's going good? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I've lost 24 pounds. I'm now at 190 and I'm stuck. Okay, thank you, Melissa. Mr. Chad, lost 85 pounds in 6 months, down to 200. Congrats, my friend. That is fantastic. Caitlin, the only time I haven't been is when I did carnivore. Meaning the only time you weren't losing weight is when you did carnivore? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying the only time you were losing is when you did carnivore? Which one? I'm actually curious. Okay, so how do you know which issue you fall into? This is where the testing comes into play. We have to do testing to figure out what's going on. Like, we have to do testing. So Caitlin, if the only time you lost weight was when you were doing carnivore, it's probably because you are, you might have some gut issues, some autoimmune issues, some inflammatory issues, and carnivore diet removed the triggers and laid the foundation for your body to actually facilitate weight loss. If you have high inflammation, it's difficult to lose weight. It really is. And so the GLP-1 medication, our clinic would confirm with proper testing, but we would probably put you on some sort of anti-inflammatory diet, some sort of carnivore or anti-inflammatory diet. And then we would stack it with the GLP-1, with the low-dose naltrexone. Low-dose naltrexone is a powerful inflammation reducer. It also calms down and modulates the immune system. How many of you guys are struggling with inflammation? Like you have an autoimmune disease and you think it's coming from inflammation? Let me know in the comments. We got lupus, told that after labs were drawn. So the thing that you need to understand about inflammation is the more inflamed you are, the more insulin resistant you are. So inflammation drives insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the actual thing that's blocking weight loss. It's blocking fat loss. When your insulin levels are elevated, your body stays in fat storage mode. It's challenging for your body to tap into and access stored fat. So your body has to rely on deeper stress hormone pathways when you get into a calorie deficit, and that's why it's short-lived. That's why it triggers menopausal symptoms. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. So one of the things that we do to fix slow responders and non-responders is we fix the inflammation. So pay attention to this right now, because I am breaking down the inflammation protocol. And if this is something that you're struggling with, and by the way, just so you know, I'm posting a video next week specifically about autoimmune disease, inflammation, and GLP-1 weight loss. What's the connection between GLP-1 meds, inflammation, and weight loss? We're going to be talking all about that and teaching you guys everything that you need to know about that next week. So again, make sure you're following us on our YouTube page and you turn on your notifications so that you get notified every time we post those videos. Mounjaro down 10, wondering if retatrutide is next. I wouldn't. We offer retatrutide, but I'm going to say this over and over and over. Retatrutide is not the best path. If you're not losing on your tirzepatide, we need to fix the issue. It's not switching to retatrutide. That's not going to unlock some door and magical weight loss is going to happen. A lot of times what ends up happening to people is they end up not getting enough appetite suppression because retatrutide sometimes triggers hunger. That third receptor, glucagon, when that gets triggered, it sometimes increases hunger. So for certain patients, they are getting reduced hunger. And if you have reduced hunger suppression. So if you're getting less suppression, that means you end up with more appetite. And you end up with more appetite and you feel like crap. You're not able to execute. You start overeating. Because remember, we need to be in some sort of deficit in order to lose weight. Hey girl, hey. Good morning, Christina. Gina, I'm confused. I thought the carnivore diet causes inflammation. That's what I read. No. The carnivore diet alleviates inflammation. The carnivore diet is the most powerful anti-inflammatory diet that I know of. And we are seeing massive improvements in our patients who give it a shot. Now, I'm not saying you have to do the carnivore diet, but what I'm saying is if you give it a shot, you will likely be pleasantly surprised. Now, in our coaching program, we have a bit of a flexible carnivore diet approach. So, for me, I think it's a great short-term intervention. I think it's a great short-term intervention to reduce inflammation and put your body into a state that can actually heal. To help put your body into a state where inflammation starts reducing, insulin resistance improves. How long do you need to do carnivore for it to help? I'd give it like a 3-month period. 3-month period seems to be a good amount of time to allow the body to begin to heal. And yes, we have an entire autoimmune protocol and we have an entire autoimmune program where we, like I was saying earlier, here's the peptide stack. If you have autoimmune disease, it's BPC 157, low dose naltrexone, KPV peptide. And then believe it or not, your GLP-1 is actually really powerful for autoimmune. Your GLP-1 is actually really powerful for starting the process of your body healing. So it's really interesting. What I find and where we have a lot of success with our patients is stacking the peptides with the lifestyle. Because for a lot of people, autoimmune disease is so rampant. Autoimmune disease is so widespread. So a combination of both really helps. What if you have the meat scaries? What is the meat scaries? I've never heard of that. The meat scares? Meat scaries? I'm not sure what that means. Can people on thyroid medication take peptides? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot of patients on thyroid programs taking the peptides. Can you take a GLP-1 if you don't want to lose weight, but you have autoimmune disease? Yes, you can. A lot of people are utilizing GLP-1 medications as kind of their autoimmune treatment, and we're seeing patients get off of their autoimmune treatments. It's kind of wild. What are peptides? So peptides, you think of peptides like hormones. Peptides are like chemical messengers that are created in your body. They're actually structurally building blocks that make up proteins, but they're specific types of building blocks that are your body's signaling agent. It's how your cells and tissues communicate to other cells and tissues, like hormones. Think of them like a hormone. Your body makes these peptides and they create certain signals, for example, turning on a growth hormone release. Yes. I know a lot of you guys are actually asking how to reach out to us. And so let me break it down here before I hop off. We do have some really cool promotions for Black Friday. We have our steepest discounts incoming for the Wolverine healing peptides and our Glow healing peptides. So Wolverine is fantastic for injury. So if you have any sort of musculoskeletal injuries, back pains, aches, tendonitis, joint issues, BPC TB500, very, very powerful. And then if you want anti-aging and skin rejuvenation and skin health, that's the Glow, which also adds in the GHK copper. And so if you guys are interested in learning more about the peptides, if you want to work with me directly, if you want to have access to my coaches, if you're tired of freaking winging it, and I don't blame you because, you need some help. The way that you reach out to us is this number right here, 229-441-3562. Shoot us a text message. Let them know that you want to get set up for help. We are here to guide you guys. I will be live every single morning, by the way, just so you know. You can catch me 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And make sure you follow us on YouTube. Go to Dr. Jones, go to YouTube and type in Dr. Jones DC. All right, everybody, we will see you later.